So welcome folks to the second episode of the CAVI Collaborators, which is the Cooperative and Automated Vehicle Initiative. I'm Miranda Blogg, the Director for CAVI, and joining me today are some of our partners and vendors for the Ipswich Connected Vehicle Pilot. We have Paul Gray, who's the CEO of Coda Wireless.
Morning.
Jamie Smith, the Executive Director for Smart Transport at Telstra.
Thank you.
Hi, Jamie. We have Jimmy, who's the Consultant Solutions Specialist for Public Sector at Telstra.
Howdy.
So we've reached a pretty important milestone within the Ipswich Connected Vehicle Pilot. We launched in August and we have around 50 participants who've already had the equipment installed in their vehicles, and they're moving around Ipswich now, receiving safety messages and basically talking to our infrastructure and to each other around the network. So we've been on a very long journey. We really kicked off in earnest the development phase towards the end of 2018. So we've done a lot of development and a lot of testing, and I'm interested to hear from everyone on today your thoughts around some of the learnings from the pilot so far. So I guess maybe we could start off with you, Paul, in terms of what services Coda's offered as part of the pilot, and how you became involved in the pilot.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Miranda. So Coda is supplying the onboard units that go into the vehicles driven by the general public. So that's really the unit that's retrofitted into the vehicles, which consists of a radio component. And this is a hybrid connected vehicle radio. So this contains a vehicle to infrastructure link, as well as a cellular link to get access to data from the back office, and as well as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as well. Additionally, there's a human machine interface, essentially like an Android screen that sits in the vehicle and provides the information to the driver and runs the applications that are in the vehicle, which are really being tested out in the trial.
So Telstra's provided access to the 4G network to, as Paul said, to enable communication with back-end systems. We also helped out with our partner Cisco in beefing up some of the roadside infrastructure communication network technology to enable the vehicle and roadside beacons, when they communicate with each other, to connect back into the Queensland TMR ITS network, which is supported by Telstra around the state. So that's the main two roles we played.
We also provided the Telstra Programmable Network, which is the virtualized network core. So that provides connectivity from your cellular roadside into the hyperscalers that the department is using, with the collaboration with QUT around the data science elements, and looking at, I guess, some of the insights that are going to be developed once all the data is captured. So that core is totally virtualized. There's no build required. It can be it is scalable. Will grow with the pilot's requirements, or shrink as required as well. It can be torn down once it's all done. So yeah, we're pretty proud of that particular element as well.
Thanks, folks. So as I think everyone's noted, we've been working together for some time, and a number of you have even had co-located staff with us. I guess in terms of that development phase and testing phase, what do you think were some of the biggest challenges to a project of this scale, of a pilot, I should say, of this scale?
Yeah, well, from our perspective, I think this pilot is Australia's largest and most advanced connected vehicle pilot, and and essentially it contains all the elements of a national deployment. So as I'm sure you've got the impression from the opening comments, there's a lot of moving parts that need to be working. I think that's been the most challenging thing about the pilot, is just getting all those moving parts working seamlessly together. But the benefits of that is the lessons learned from this is going to make that that future rollouts go a lot more smoothly.
So Paul, do you think there's some elements of the collaboration that enabled that to be smoother, that we could have enhanced as part of this opportunity?
I definitely think, as you commented, having the co-location is of enormous benefit. That, having people working, side by side, on a daily basis can really, speed the solution to these problems as they pop up. And it's been doubly beneficial, I think, since the pandemic started, and even the travel within Australia has been more challenging.
Yeah, certainly just in time for that one.
Look, I think the thing I would reflect on is the scale of the project was much greater and more complex than I think was probably originally conceived. And I think what's been great along the way is people have learned how hard this is to set something like this up, and how many individual components need to come together, how people need to work together collaboratively. And I think that's the big lesson as we roll out a national cooperative ITS ecosystem for Australia, that it isn't something that just one individual organisation can take on and deliver. I think it's a big job, it's a big national challenge, and it certainly needs cooperation across the board.
Agreed.
So from the outset, I guess it was once we understood the brief, we were really able to showcase some of what good technology delivered well looks like. So that was around the programmable core, which we're particularly proud of. Again, it was able to scale up as required and was quite elastic in its capability. So for us, being able to work with our partner Cisco and actually providing a ruggedized piece of equipment in the roadside cabinet, for me personally, professionally, it was really a really good opportunity to look at what that alliance could mean and deliver to the department as far as the benefit goes. Seeing that come live as well has been particularly rewarding. So from a telco perspective, we're able to communicate back into Telstra to indicate what the load would be on the network, what the likely use case was going to be, and what the future impacts we're going to have around road users and the benefit of that. From a local Queensland perspective, it was just understanding what we needed to deliver to and how flexible it needed to be to meet the department's requirements.
Yeah, that's great. What about you, Paul? What do you think some of the best takeaways have been from that development phase for your own company's growth?
Oh, certainly. So I think the rewards are really the flip side of the challenges. We've been involved in a lot of connected vehicle pilots around the globe, and this one is unique in that it brings together so many different elements. So whilst that is challenging, I mean, the benefits are enormous, because this is bringing together hybrid communications. It's bringing together advanced positioning using RTK corrections and inertial sensor integration. It's bringing in Australia's security credential management system to bring advanced cyber security into the system. Plus, there's that cloud and back office integration that was just talked about. So that's bringing in together roadworks information, speed limit information, databases of intersection maps and the likes of that, and then also having everything integrated with streams. So having, this is, as I said at the beginning, this is really bringing together all the moving parts of a national deployment, and so that's really putting us in a great position to have products ready for that when it takes place.
I think the thing for me, the benefit has been, again, what Paul said. It's a reflection of what the challenges were. It's the collaboration or cooperation, which is the C in CITS stands for cooperative. So I think what we've learned at Telstra is that we need to get behind this. It's not something that will just, there's a network, off you go, use it when you're ready. We actually have to invest our networks and our products and our business time and resources into helping to promote and accelerate the adoption of a national system, because the benefits are so significant. Just the social benefits of life-saving and reduced hospitalisation from road incidents due to better technology let alone the economic benefits. So what's been good about this project and several of the others that we've been involved with locally in Australia and global forums that are standing up around the world that have this cooperative ITS on their agenda is people are starting to understand and buy into it, which has been probably the biggest single benefit for us internally being part of all of these activities is that raised awareness.
So let's imagine ourselves in another 12 months. We've had around 500 participants through the pilot. We've collected terabytes of data. What do you most hope to learn as a vendor and in regards to your own products from the pilot that that will help you as the vendor and your products grow on your roadmap?
I think from our perspective, it's really the robustness of our products. I mean, it's one thing to put a product into a trial of 10 vehicles and and run it a few hours a week or whatever some existing trials may be doing. But this is really putting it in the hands of the general public who are out on the road 24/7 with 500 units, and really the system has to work robustly. It has to work, not just 70% of the time. It has to work 100% of the time. And I think that's really making our products more robust is really where we see the real benefit of having I guess one of these real world trials as opposed to a bit of more of an academic trial.
Yeah, I'd actually head more towards a greater understanding of the use cases themselves, the individual situations that drivers find themselves in, and what difference does this technology make, and what gaps are there in the set of use cases that we need to further investigate. And I think that the reason for that is that we have some intuition about how this technology can help positively impact some of the road safety challenges we face today, but we don't have the data to really analyse and understand that. So hopefully we'll confirm that some of our suspicions are correct, that this technology will make a difference. We might well find that there are some ideas that we hadn't previously thought of about ways in which this technology, the V2V and the V2I, the V to N to I to V to X to pedestrian to all those other possibilities. We might get some focus areas that we can dive into as a future phase of work. So I don't actually think there'll be an end to this. I think this is just the beginning of the journey, so to speak.
I'll also just add, technology is moving at such a cracking pace. I think they're revising Moore's Law to 18 months now rather than every 2 years. With the advent of edge computing, mobile phones, and also 5G coming to the fore now, we're going to be in an entirely different situation as far as what we can explore and how we solve problems. Back to Jamie's point in regards to the use cases that we're looking to, I guess, monitor and inform moving forward, we'll have a different capability entirely from where we are today. As a geek, that's my view. We'll be able to deliver a lot more from a cellular perspective and also from a fixed and ultra reliability, low latency capability point of view for 5G and all the benefits that can bring around hyperscaling applications, including CITS. So I think I'm excited from an involvement point of view in being able to inform our future product development from a Telstra Labs perspective. So it's great.
Yeah, agreed. So I guess we could wrap this session up. I'd like to thank you for your time this morning. It's been very valuable getting your thoughts on not just the pilot development and the expectations, but also some of those national and international themes in the connected vehicle space. So again, thank you, Jimmy, Jamie, and Paul. For those listening, if you'd like to learn more about the Ipswich Connected Vehicle Pilot, you can Google it. But if you're also interested in contacting our guest today, you can email us on contact.cavi, CAVI, at tmr.qld.gov.au. And thank you again all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.